Recording in progress.
Shalom. First and foremost, I give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Hakadash, the fathers, the apostles, and the elders of the millstone. Peace, salutation to the Akim, to the elect that's scattered across the four corners of this earth, which needs truth and faith, in all sincerity. On the bro Shemala from the GMS Houston camp. And it's going to be a scripture of the day, Acts 1, verse 6. All right, quick lesson. All right, good spirit. Just going into, basically the kingdom. All right, because that's what that was the question posed to Yahushua, all right, by the disciples. That's what it was dealing with. All right, so I'm gonna get started right here in Acts 1, verse 6. It says, when they therefore would come together, they asked themselves, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? Right, because when you read up, right, verse 3, where it says, to whom also he showed himself alive after his passion, meaning the things that he suffered, meaning after his crucifixion, all of those things, the Lord came back and showed himself to his disciples, after he was risen from the dead. Right, he says, by many infallible proofs being seen of them 40 days, and speaking of the things pertaining to the kingdom of the Most High. So the Lord was going in depth with him, man. He was opening up to him about the kingdom. You see, he said, hey, for 40 days, man, this was the convo. Right? Real high level conversation. So when you go back to Acts 1 and 6, right? When they therefore will come together, they asked him, saying, Lord, will thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? Because you got to think about what they were talking about. Right, we can go to other scriptures and other chapters so we can get a glimpse of what the kingdom, what it's gonna be like. Right, we know about the bodies that we're gonna have. We know about that we'll have sovereignty, that we will be above these different nations, right? That we will have the riches, you see, the resources. We can read and see how great it's going to be, but having the man himself, Yahweh, the Messiah, right, whose kingdom it will be, talking about the kingdom. Yeah, think about it. You will be hyped. Right? Just from off reading the scripture, we be hyped for the kingdom of heaven. This is why we do what we do, because we are fueled, right, by the motivation that the scriptures bring us, right, of the days to come. So it says, when they therefore come together, they ask him, saying, Lord, will thou at this time restore again the kingdoms to Israel? All right, because look, the Messiah came to be a sacrifice. Yahushua was sacrificed, right, as that sacrificial lamb for Israel. All right. So after the Romans did, what they were really supposed to do, because it was prophecy, right? That's why Yahushua said, ain't no man taking my life, I lay it down, because he knew what he had to do. But, after they did what they did, he rose from the dead. All right. And so they were already seeing this man perform miracles, walking on water, right, healing the blind, raising the dead. And they see himself come back from the dead. They're like, man, hey, can't nobody stop this man. All right. They can't do nothing to him. This man got all his power. It's like he told him, all power is given unto me, heaven and earth. This gotta be the time we gonna get the kingdom, right? They were inquiring, as we all would. Because hey, when you go to the book of Matthew, it says what the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, meaning the Israelites, right, were catching hell under the Romans, being taxed and You know, all of these things, man, just catching the hell, being subject unto them. They wanted that shit to be over with, right? It's like we want this, the rulership of Israel to be over with. But Acts 1:6 shows you that, hey, the kingdom is only for Israel because it says restore again. Because we had the kingdom during the time of David and Solomon. Hey, bro, we were at the top, man. During those times, King David put the nations in subjection, and when his son came and ruled, Solomon, right, was in the spirit, was Yahushua, right? He ruled in peace, 40 years. So that was a total of 80 years for about both, right? 40 years. You see, because I believe King David reigned 7 years in Hebron first, and then 33 years, 33 years over Jerusalem, over all the tribes, right? Over all the tribes. You know, it could be 40 years and 6 months, something like that, but the year is 40. All right. But let's go to Micah 4:8. It says, "And thou, O tower of the flock, the stronghold of the daughter of Zion." The Zion represents the Israelites, right? You go to Zion, means in Hebrew, you pronounce that word as the Zion one, which means like a monument. Let's see what it says right here, first of all. Right. Tazah one, right? Harsh place, for another name for Jerusalem, especially in the prophetic book. So it is another name for Jerusalem. Right, but not necessarily going into what it means. Right, monument, market, signpost, right? Because a monument is something that, or a monument or a sign or something that you look at, right? And when you go, let's just look it up real quick. Let's look up the word monument to get a better definition of it: statue or building or structure erected to commemorate a notable person or event. So something that is set up to represent something else, right? It's a notable person or event. So Israel was set up as a nation to represent the Most High on earth, right? Through the law, statutes, and commandments. Basically, is what that is. Zion, the Zion one, being that monument. Oh, and thou, O tower of the flock, the stronghold of the daughter of Zion, let the thee shall come, even the first dominion, the kingdom shall come to the daughter of Jerusalem. And when it says the daughter, it's basically talking about the nation of Israel, because Jeremiah 62 says he looked at the Israelites, Israel as a calmly and delicate woman, right? So it says, unto thee shall it come, even the first dominion, right? The kingdom. So it's telling you who the kingdom of heaven is for. Right? The kingdom of heaven is for the Israelites. Right? When the disciples asked this question, they were not worried about the Romans. Right? They were not worried about the other nations. That's today's shit. People today, right, get that confused and be misled and stumble over these things. Because if you was to try to tell the disciples that the kingdom of heaven was going to be for everybody, you would have got cursed out. Right? You would have got cursed out. Right? Trying to teach something like that back then amongst Israel, period. Right? The ones that were catching that hell under the Romans. And we're like, bro, are you serious? Right? But the scriptures clearly prove who the kingdom of heaven is for. Right? So, that's the lesson. Like I said, it's gonna be real quick to the spirit, scripture of the day. And that I hope you all verified. I'm gonna say shalom.